So, you want to be a mountain leader? Are you sure? It's quite a journey. I'm camping tonight and I'll have a little chat then about my journey so far and some tips, tricks and links to get you started on your mountain leader journey. So I'll catch you up on the hill later. Do you want to be led by me? Well, you might ask the question, why do I want to be a mountain leader? Well, just over there's a mountain called Fairfield. And 43 years ago, I was at a scout camp at the base of it. And a fantastic scout leader that we had called Brian Billington organised the week. And he took us on the Fairfield Horseshoe. And when I got to the top of there and I sat down, loads of the lads were mucking around and running around me. And I just said, lads, stop. Let's just listen to the silence. And I sat down on those rocks, looked around me, and I knew that this was the place. This is the place that I wanted to come back to. So that's the reason I want to be a mountain leader. It's through my role in scouting, it's to try and get as many lads and girls having that lights on moment. And if I can be there to see that, to see them sit on fells like that as a youngster and suddenly realise just how magical it is, then it'll all be worthwhile. Right, we'll pop this tent up and I'll tell you a bit more about it. Great, so that's the top tent Scarp one, pitched in 5 minutes. And this is going to be my view in the morning, looking down Knowleswater. And the sun should come up over there, High Street and Placefell. Fantastic. So the Mountain Leader Award is a competency overseen by the Mountain Training Organisation. I'll put links to all of the organisations and things I'm going to say below. So that would enable you to take groups with a limit into summer mountain UK conditions, including Scotland, the Lake District. And it's a whole set of competencies. So what it involves is firstly a week's training, 6 days training, where you'll cover navigation, moving on steep ground, managing groups, a little expedition, an overnighter. And before you can do that, you have to have demonstrated that you've got what's called at least 20 quality mountain days. And on the mountain training website there's a good definition of that, but really it means a big day out in the high hills, often on pathless terrain, using all of your kind of hill walking and mountaineering skills really. So 20 quality mountain days isn't a lot though, because I feel if you're going to be a competent mountain leader, you've got to have a skills buffer, not just to be good enough, you've got to be up beyond there. And that's where I am now really. So 20 years ago I would say I was a reasonably competent mountaineer, but time's gone by, I've got a little bit older, got very busy, and that's where I've been this last few months now, trying to pick my skills back up. So a lot of the videos that I've been doing recently, including the navigation ones, the movement masterclass that I did recently with Ensoll, who I'm happening to be doing my mountain leader training with in 2 weeks' time. All of that sort of thing is about building back up my skills to be a competent mountain leader. But there's so much more to it than that. So for instance, the reason I'm here tonight having this lovely camp is one to enjoy a camp, but in a village hall down here somewhere tomorrow I'm going to be starting a 2-day first aid course, and that's part of the ultimate mountain leader competency, is to have that remote first aid qualification. So a really good place to start is to go onto mountaintraining.org and download their handbook, and that very clearly lists the progression to becoming a mountain leader. And there's another document called the Mountain Skills Checklist, and in there of course it talks about navigation, handling yourself in the mountains, moving on steep ground, making sure that you're competent on an expedition, but more about conservation, management of the land. You should have a good working knowledge about who manages the land and what you and your group can do towards help to keep it pristine. And it's got to be worth it, hasn't it? So I'm just starting out on this journey. When I logged on to the Mountain Training Association site and I wanted to book a mountain leader training course, first you have to go onto something called the candidate management system, and there's a fee for that. And when you've done that, it enables you to start entering into what's called the digital log, and it's a really good idea to start recording your experience. You can do it manually in a written logbook, or you can do it on their digital log, and it's a really good way of doing it. It's very efficient, and I think I've logged something like 70 little trips now, and they're just the ones I can remember from over the years. So in 2 weeks' time, when I'm on my mountain leader training, I'm going to be recording that, and I hope you'll join me on that trip and this whole mountain leader journey, and ultimately we'll see the culmination of that. After the mountain leader training, there's a consolidation period where you need to consolidate your skills, work on anything that you're lacking in. For me, for instance, amongst other things, is my navigation isn't quite up to scratch at all. I won't tell you about some of the more embarrassing moments I've had recently on that score, but it's having knowledge of the fauna and flora. So being a leader isn't just about dragging people across the hills and helping them not to get lost. It's about making sure that they have a deeper understanding of the land, including the wildflowers that they're walking over, who the land belongs to, who manages it. So it's a full experience. So when you've had that consolidation period, you then would apply for your assessment, which is another week. And I'm already dreading that because, of course, now I've said in a public forum that I'm going to be doing this, the pressure's on to do a good job of that, eh? So that's typically going to be kind of 6 months to a year after your initial training. So I hope you join me on this journey. It's going to be a long one, but I'll put it together as a playlist, my mountain leader journey. I would encourage you to go and log straight on to mountaintraining.org. Now it's mountain-training.org, and have a look, download the free logbook, have a look at the mountain skills competence, and ask yourself, is it something you might want to do? I've told you my reasons, but people have lots of different ones. Some people are doing it just because they want to measure themselves and gain some more experience. Others are doing it from a commercial perspective. There's all manner of levels, and a really interesting thing to do on the mountain training site is there's a section called Find a Mountain Leader in Your Area, and if you have a look at those, they're all listed, and you can see people's profile and the logs, and it's quite intimidating seeing some of the fantastic competent people that are up there. In fact, my own brother-in-law, he recently got his mountain leader qualification, and he's got a background as a chef for many years, and he has done outside catering for weddings. He's a fantastic chef. I've sampled his food many times, and he's combined that now with his love of the fells. So he's started a new business called Fells Kitchen, where he'll take you into the hills and cook you a fantastic gourmet lunch instead of the usual bashed sandwiches. So I'll put you some links below to Fells Kitchen as well. Chris operates in the northwest, i.e. here, and over in the northeast of England where I and he live. I thought I'd just show you the kit I'm using tonight, because this is a camping channel after all. So I got it down to a dry weight of 8 kilos today, which is pretty good for me. But to do that, I'm just using the little meth stove. Only luxury item I've really bought is the thermocell backpacker to keep the little midges away a little bit. So Sea to Summit Comfort Light, I use that all year round. And then a sleeping bag that doesn't come out very often. This is the Mountain Equipment Marathon 300. It's very light. And I've dropped a pillow, and instead I'm using as one pillow what I always carry, the Sea to Summit Air Seat Insulated. So I use that as a seat when it's cold, but it'll double up as an extra little pillow. And the Quetcher helium pillow, little electronics bag, wash kit, warm gear, including little booties in there. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to have a drink and go crazy with some rice pudding, and I'll catch you in the morning. Say good night, 10 fish.
Good morning. 7 o'clock in the morning.
As usual, leave no trace. All the rubbish is in there. If you want to know a little bit more about good wild camping practices, I'm sure a lot of you are on the game already, but check out the wild camp with a National Trust Park Ranger. We have a good chat on there about some of the challenges he faces. Drag myself away from this view.